Hey there, Capricorn. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button, ring the bell. They'll notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy of the World, give us that big thumbs up, like, and share. To those of you who give donations, thank you from the bottom of my heart. We have 4 new decks on the way for next week's readings. So for now, Capricorn, bam, look at that. Broom, new home, new attitude. You've been doing some work, some cleaning out, some clearing up, deciding who you are and that you're worth this, you're saying challenge called life. Because before it was what you did, it was like it was work-based, it's what you're made of, it's what you're made for, and that's all you had done. There wasn't a lot of self-consideration. Even though there were ponderings in the quiet moments, it didn't ever go too far. You didn't explore yourself so much, but now it is obvious you have. And you are on the right track. You are on the right path because you've gone down into the deep, dark, and the dirty. You've gone down to the center of the earth to find out what it is. It's like you combined your two energies. You synergized them to find out what is in there. You could go take a look at Gemini because that reading talked a lot about it as well. So here you married your goat sea self, taking the depths and the heights and working them into one. It's like you're talking about refining, like an oil well, and it's going to make you rich beyond measure in ways you cannot even conceive at this time, because who and what you are and what you've discovered and uncovered by so boldly going forth into this realm is what everybody else has only heard of. It seems like a myth and a mystery, and here you are bringing it back, and you tamed it, and you're like, I got the spirit feather. Okay, so what do I do now? And I'm like, all right, let's find out. So first we have coming up the warrior. All right, will of heaven, patience, deep dive, molding character and timely relationship. Beneath that, we have the oracle card number 8. We can see you peering into that elixir, into what has been in your depths, that watery, deep, dark place down inside the mountain, down inside the depths of the earth has been hidden there, and you've brought it back. It definitely scarred you, and it was something that made the marks on you, but that is who you are. That is your beauty. That is your oil well, your refinery, and you're bringing it out to power others up. Okay, and it's working in the power, the base chakra, working through the solar plexus all the way out into the cosmic realms. It's going through the purple, red, and gold. But you also did this down below, not just up above. And the Jupiter and the Sun, your expansion into the knowledge of who you are, but aligning that with your ascending and descending and keeping your compass set at true north. Okay, so Capricorn, next we have coming in, we're going to have a look at you, at the self. Look at the magic you're working. Can you see? That's what you have come about, what you have struck gold with. That feather, that depth, that darkness brings forth all radiant light. And you're crafting it like weaving your own coat of many colors, the thing that everybody's longed for. But you came back tried and true. You've been through many trials and tribulations. You just didn't know what to do with it because you were so busy working, going on to the next venture, the next thing to take care of, the next thing that somebody else can't do. And they say, hey, could you do this for me? You're like, okay. And it just kept your days filled. It kept you stepping forward, moving forward at a brisk pace. But now that the world has slowed down to a state and put this air of pondering around us, not just the 2020 of hindsight, yes, but also in the now of like what is coming, what is in here, and that has awakened this magic in you. This like foundational magic with a modern twist. Let's see what the rune card has to say about that. The self. Looky here. The self. Receptive, integrity, abide, stillness, willing, presence, mirror, and balance. So you finally brought yourself all together from the peak of the mountaintop, from that vista, from the scenery there, down into the depths and being able to deal with the pressure, which is where you turn coal into diamonds, right? And you bring that thin air, the absence of the oxygen along with that pressure, and you put those two inverses together and you have sheer perfection. Okay, so next we have coming in this card, movement, new dwelling, which, remember, a new you, a new way. You got that new attitude. Like, it wasn't even like you had a bad attitude before. You just were focused on work. You were focused on purpose. So now this new attitude, it's like this. It's that the coat of many colors, like this magical, I did it. I found the Loch Ness monster and I brought it back and I tamed it and it gave me its feather. I know they don't fly, but it had feathers. Just like in one of the readings the other day, the feathers were made of fur. Talk about this new realm that's coming in for us. It is endless possibilities. It is to the far reaches and stretches of our imagination and creativity. That is what is going on here. So the new dwelling, the life, progress, transition, shifts, change, sun, and reassurance. Because remember, you have the sun here. You have this of your belly, of your soul star, your soul seed. What you were born for is awakening and rising up. And you're shifting from that. And it's like a fountain of youth from you. It's going from the old into the new. It's like a reverse transmission. It's a response, a yes, a hello. That type of energy that lights you up and causes you to glow up. Not that there's anything against this. Just that has come from the weariness of only having productivity and your purpose without the meaning. The meaning is like the sap in the tree. It's the juice in the fruit. It is the thing that fleshes it out. And now you're being fleshed out. You have the eye of wisdom, but you've also been gifted with the eye for the future, with that like kind of like the high heart of children, but also down in the deep depths of the magenta, the provisionary aspect to facilitate it and bring it forth into form, thus the home, right? That form, that pinnacle element, that realm. Woohoo, baby. You got my lips going a mile a minute and I love it, Capricorn. Now this one is the one that let me know when to quit shifting and splitting through the cards. You were like, this is what we were going for. Not that demand and commanding type energy. It was creativity, pure bliss. This flow, this dominion, but kind of it's like that house. It's that property. When you own it, it feels free to come out and play. It can flow there because it knows it's safe with you. Like who you are and how you view yourself is in balance here. See, it's staying within a true scope, you know. You're keeping margins and boundaries on yourself, which is healthy for you. Not realizing, realizing that getting ahead of yourself does you no good. Stretching, burning the candle at both ends does you no good. You're like, I'll do these steps and it'll be taken care of, because that's the way you used to work before. But since you were doing the work of so many who didn't, I'd say, have the skill set, meaning the birth chart of you, they weren't able, like a Capricorn, equipped to be able to go to those links and realms. You were, so you were doing the work of many. But now as you come in through creativity, it's instead of running yourself ragged, going back and forth between the extension of those realms, you contract them, you brought them together, you created this opening, this magic, right? And now you're bringing them down to live and abide here on earth, this dwelling, this kind of man in the middle type energy going on. You got like tickly fires burning all in here, Capricorn. I love it. And you're a masterpiece, remember? We found that out over here. And I see a grin coming upon your face. Like that ashenness is being worn off and you're being revitalized into this vibrance, into this radiance, into this Renaissance energy, which the last time Jupiter and Saturn and also those type energies were coming into so much we'll just call it alignment, right? They've been hanging out together for a minute. We had revolutionary type energies. We had Renaissance. And you're like, I'm straight up going for the Renaissance. I've already worked hard. We don't need all that other stress and strain, the bloodshed, the tears, any of that. Let's get into addressing our hopes and fears, taking that amazing energy and beginning to work it out before our very eyes and finding out the bigger picture, the beautiful mastery of who we are. And that restores your sanity. Time to catch up regardless. And not like time to catch up, meaning time. You have the expanse, the luxury of the time now, Capricorn, to do this. Now that you are aware of life shifting you into it being about you, that's not selfishness, that's the sun. The whole solar system rotates and revolves around the sun. That if you have a clear perspective of who you are and what you're here for, it brings in that whole new world, remember? And it brings in as an access point where those who used to ask you to do those things for them, they can just come to it like a warehouse, like a storehouse, and you're not having to sweat, you're not having to struggle or stress or wedge yourself in between the cracks of all these demands and ideas that were going on. You're able to freely move about and create and craft right here, right now, because you found the wealth and the resources of who you are through that broom, through that cleaning and clearing and understanding, like that attitude adjustment of how important, how valuable, and how necessary you are, that you were here to have meaning, to have pleasure here on earth, to bring heaven down. And you're like, well, if I'd known that, I'd have brought heaven down a long time ago. You like took this rope and you went and got the pyramids and you've been harnessing them and dragging them across from the desert where most people will die straight into this lush tropical oasis where people can chill, hang out, vibe, and imbibe. All right. So along with that, we have possessions, fulfillment, mindfulness, reward, love shared, when to stand up for and to yourself. Except it was coming in like this. They're just saying, soak it up, baby. This is no effort. These possessions, this fulfillment, it's who you are. It's that embodiment. Just take time to soak it up and to relish in it. Allow it to seep through. Just like when you make sun tea, you put the bags in, you add whatever sweetener you want, you put it out, you cover it and seal it, right? And put it out in the sun. Let the sun do what it do, right? So that's what you're talking about here, and that does this. Celebrate. Okay? Things are looking up. So when you soak in it, this ease, this effort, this beingness of who you are, this drawing down heaven on earth with your confident capabilities, Capricorn, it causes you to be excited, to be uplifted, because you did want to help others. You knew that power that you had, that you wanted to employ it for mankind. You're very compassionate towards our world, but it also left you very little time to dive into your feelings, dive into, this juiciness, this depth, this sacral intimacy of your beauty in your life. And now here it is totally driving up. It's totally coming up. It's mixing and melding and mingling together and releasing your essence into this earth as the divine magician. You are an emblem of life. Okay? So, how's that for you, Cappy? So we're going to get a list to go. Hey, cosmic call from my son. So anyways, I was still shuffling and going, and then the card popped out. But here is what came. Number 28, victory. Look at that. Look at you inhaling the fragrance. So our sense of smell is strongly connected to our root, our base chakra, which is what you've shown me here. And that has a lot to do with our sun. So that's why we need to get our sun in order so that we can power up and move it in a full divine connection, one that is founded like that house, right? On a firm foundation, that we can come forward and the sap, the beauty, the juiciness of life can come through. Come into this cosmic creativity that others know the reward, the wealth, and the resource that we are. It's good for us, good for our world. Is that not fantastic? Look at that. Look at that. I'm excited for you, Cappy. Hey, this is Joyce saying I love you. We'll talk soon. Bye.